Primetime local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
Good evening and welcome to Primetime Local News. There are 40 new cases of COVID-19 in Saskatchewan. 23 of those are linked to close contacts and gatherings. One of the new cases is in the zone that includes Lloydminster and North Battleford. 299 cases are considered active, 9 of those in our region. So far, 79 people in multiple communities that have tested positive are linked to the gospel worship event in Prince Albert. 9 people are in hospital, 2 of those in intensive care. 12 more people have recovered. The All Candidates Forum for the provincial election was last night, and the evening featured lots of discussion on many topics. Connor Chan has a recap of the event.
Thursday night saw 3 of the 4 candidates participate in the Saskatchewan provincial election virtual forum. Green Party candidate Audra Kish was not in attendance. Between the major issues surrounding the 2020 provincial election, questions were sent to candidates via email in what was a unique experience for this election during a pandemic.
But I hope that, hearing all 3 candidates that did attend tonight, provides people with the opportunity to make some good informed decisions on who they want to support in this general election.
Because of the COVID situation, we have been unable to do a lot of the door-to-door. So people haven't seen me. They don't know who I am. I was really hoping that a lot of people saw this so that they can put a face to the name.
This is the first time I've done an event like this, so the whole thing was a learning experience, and it was interesting and enjoyable.
Some of the topics discussed were economic recovery, helping small businesses, and the oil and gas sector. Each candidate made their plea in an unusual way virtually, but they still hope the message of their party relays to the people.
There's another option. Are you happy with the status quo? If you're not, go Buffalo. We're there. We're real.
I believe that the Saskatchewan Party has a proven track record of investing in people and supporting families and making life affordable for everyone in this province.
We're just as aware and prepared to advocate for, work with, understand, lead, be MLAs for rural areas like Lloydminster.
Lloydminster residents will find out who the new MLA will be on October 26th. Connor Chan, Primetime Local News.
Students at Father Gorman Elementary School decided to promote positivity to the community in a creative way by painting their messages. A few months ago, one Lloydminster resident let his fence be a creative space for people of the border city. Since then, the fence has become very popular.
It's nice to see that it's filling up and people are using it. I'd like to see a little more art than maybe the train graffiti, but it's not up to me really. So I'm happy that people are just using it as an outlet, and I hope they continue to do it.
Students from Father Gorman School added their own messages to the fence, which was inspired by a lesson currently being held in class.
I always like to make a community connection with our Growing Up unit in ELA, which basically just promotes kids having a voice and sharing their messages. So I thought, what a great way to have them come out and get outside the building, because we've been kind of cooped up, and be able to spread that positivity.
This activity also helps promote to students that they can spread kindness to the community even in the smallest ways.
In our unit and at the age that they're at, I think that it needs to be at the forefront of what they're learning, the hidden agenda of just how to be a great person, and as they're growing up, they're learning that. And I think in any community, having an opportunity and outlet to see that just at the heart of it all, kindness is what really matters.
Hall hopes that his fence will continue to be used for positivity in the community.
It's a pretty high traffic area. A lot of people are seeing it, and the kids wrote some nice messages today, so hopefully people walk by and read them and they get a little brighter day, I guess.
Folkerth also mentions that a lot of the students promoted the messages of being yourself and that you matter. A new furniture store opened up in the border city on Thursday night. Jace Mackey has a look at the grand opening of the new Ashley Furniture.
Bankhead Sandhu and Dil Randhawa are the men behind the new City Furniture in downtown Lloydminster. And this week they're celebrating the opening of a new Ashley Furniture. In a year that's seen many stores forced to close their doors, the two are excited to be opening new stores in Lloydminster.
It's really exciting. Look, more people we talk to, they're saying that Lloyd needed these two stores, and that's what we are doing.
The pandemic posed some challenges for the team as they prepared to open. Typically, a group from the United States would fly up to help set up the store, but with the US-Canada border closed to non-essential travel, the team had to get help from operators in Canada. Ashley Furniture will offer more high-end, exclusive furniture.
Ashley is a different kind of store. It's more like a gallery approach. A lot of furniture is exclusive, and you don't find it everywhere. And it's a little bit upscale, you can say, even though we have good brand names there. But here it's Ashley only, and with Ashley we have a long-standing relationship.
The store is following public health guidelines to ensure customers and staff are safe.
We do have masks at the front door. Anybody that needs a mask, there's a mask provided. There's hand sanitizer stations throughout the whole store. And we do our cleanliness is up on par, so we're cleaning the front door, we're cleaning the washrooms every hour, making sure everything is done right.
Ashley Furniture will be celebrating their grand opening all weekend with sales, and they hope the community will stop by and see the newly renovated store.
Yeah, we're doing free local deliveries, half price out-of-town deliveries. We'll drive to Saskatoon, Edmonton, we'll go anywhere. And yeah, we're just, first 100 deals gets a prize, and other than that, all of our accessories are buy one, get one, 25% off.
For Primetime Local News, I'm Jace Mackey.
Now we're Connor Chan. We'll take a look at your weather forecast.
Thanks a lot, Jasmine. Looking at temperatures now, still sitting at -2 right now. We are going to get a lot colder over the weekend here, but -2 right now. -1's out in Edmonton, Athabasca, Cold Lake, and Whitecourt. -2 out in Edson with -1 in Rocky Mountain House and Red Deer. We did see earlier in the day that we did get some winter conditions over in those southern areas of Alberta, including Edmonton. I could see a little bit of it. By the time we get to the evening, they would have moved all the way down into southern areas like Canmore and in the Drayton Valley area as well. But over in Saskatchewan, we see 2 degrees in Saskatoon, -1 in Melfort, and then 0 in North Battleford right now and in Prince Albert. Now, as we look at up north, they are, of course, some of the cooler areas, -5 in La Loche and Buffalo Narrows with -4 in La Ronge as well, -2 for South End and in Flin Flon, Stony Rapids, and Wollaston Lake, -1 for Wollaston Lake there. As we look in northern Alberta, we see -6 in High Level right now, one of the colder places right now, -3 in Fort Chipewyan and Fort McMurray, and then we see -1 in Grand Prairie and in Slave Lake. Now, taking a look at southern Alberta right now, Lethbridge, very, very warm, one of the warmer spots in Alberta, at 15 degrees right now with 4 degrees in Medicine Hat. Pretty big, significant drop off there with 0 in Coronation and Banff, and then 1 degree right now in Calgary. As we look over into southern Saskatchewan, we see -1 in Swift Current with 4 degrees in Moose Jaw, 3 degrees in both Regina and in Estevan, 2 right now in Yorkton, and then 1 in Kindersley. Now, as we look across the national temperatures right now, still fairly cooler in the prairie areas. In Winnipeg, we see 1 degree with some cloud coverage. Quebec City at 9 right now with some a little bit of showers. 9 also in Toronto with a little bit more sun. 9 also in St. John with some showers as well. And then 11 in Halifax right now as we reached out to the Maritimes. 14 degrees in Vancouver right now with some cloud coverage there. Yellowknife up north seeing a little bit of snow there at -3, and then -7 in Whitehorse right now up in the northern areas. Now, as we take a look for tomorrow, we are going to see kind of similar temperatures with the wind kind of similar numbers to what we see today. So it could feel a little bit colder, more so around that -7 wind chill effect that we have currently right now for us. But -2 around the area for tomorrow. We also see -3 in St. Paul and in Lac La Biche as well. We also see -1s in Green Lake and Meadow Lake as well. And then -1 also in North Battleford. Now, here's a look at what we could see over the next couple of days. Like I mentioned, it's going to be fairly colder as we look at -10 on Sunday to start the day off. And it could be a little bit colder. It could go into -16 overnight with that wind chill there. -11 to start the day off on Monday with that high of -1 and a 75% chance we could get some flurries along the way. 1 on Tuesday with a little bit more sun, and then more cold temperatures expected Wednesday, Thursday with -1 and -3 as the daytime highs. Then -2 on Friday with a low of -11 again, as we are starting to get into very, very close into winter-like temperatures right now. But that's a look at your 7-day forecast. We'll have more primetime local news coming up after the break.
Last week, the Lloydminster Bobcats had their first exhibition games, and this weekend they're going to be having their first home game. So to join me ahead of the games is Evan Kenny. Evan, thanks for taking some time.
Hey, thanks for talking, Jace.
So ahead of these games, what are going to be some keys for the games this weekend for the Bobcats?
Well, after the first two games that took place in Sherwood Park last weekend, I think it's pretty evident to see first periods are a big one for the Lloydminster Bobcats. Now, they got outscored 3-0 in those two games in that first period, and now it's so much tougher working back and getting those wins when you are trailing that early in the game. Game 2, the game that the Bobcats actually did end up winning 4-3. They were down 2-0 in the first period. So to try and claw back and make up 4 goals in those last 40 minutes will be much more challenging. Another key to this game is their power play needs to get going, and it needs to get going quick. They went 1 for 6 between those two games, and it's almost the exact same thing as what I was saying with the first period. When you're given an opportunity to score, you need to capitalize, and you need to do that as early as possible. Letting go of 5 power play opportunities is too many for the Bobcats, so they'll really need to jump on that. And then the final note is they need to get shots on net. Shoot from everywhere that they possibly can. They did a good job of out-shooting the Sherwood Park Crusaders between those two games, 50-48, so they'll need to continue that, because when you're shooting, that means the other team's not. Always a good sign when you have the puck on your stick.
So I know it's still early in the season, but how big have rookies been for the Bobcats so far?
Oh, they've been huge. It's been an immediate impact when you look at the rookies. I mean, just take it from the very first game. Matthew Swanson scored the very first goal for the Lloydminster Bobcats. Nice to see out of a local product as well. And then another local product in Dalton Irvine has been phenomenal. 3 points coming from the back end, including a goal. Irvine went and played in the KIJHL over in BC, sort of their Div 2 junior program there. But rather than playing midget, he got some great experience, and it's really starting to show already early in this season. And then finally, Ethan Acoyne has been lights out. If you look during the Bobcats inter-squad games, plus these games with Sherwood Park, he got 2 points in that final win against Sherwood Park there, and was also named player of the game for the Bobcats. So it's just been huge getting this extra support, building along with the players who were rookies last year or new to the league/team last year.
Well, it's still exhibition, but how important is it for the Bobcats to be able to start off the year hot?
I mean, it's always huge. Whenever you can get a win, you want to take that, especially if we look at the Bobcats. It's been a tough last couple of years. There hasn't been a whole lot of wins coming for the organization. So to be able to pull off 1 win out of 2 games against Sherwood Park last weekend is just one step out of many that need to keep coming. Now, I've talked with Nigel a lot. Nigel Dubé, obviously, head coach and general manager for the Bobcats. And we've talked about it. It's offense that this team is lacking. But that's what it seems like they addressed in this offseason. It seems like they can get those goals starting to come, and they can keep the pucks out of their own net this season. So, I mean, obviously, getting wins early and getting off to a hot start is huge no matter what sport, what game you're playing. You never want to throw away a game. But at the same time, it is an exhibition season. You do want to work out those kinks and see how your systems can work out. So, you know, if they get the win, obviously it's a great sign coming from the Bobcats. But at the same time, if they don't get the win, there's still things that they're working on. It's still early in the season. It's not much to worry about.
And before we wrap things up today, Evan, do you have any final thoughts?
Yeah, just a couple final keys for the Bobcats heading into this weekend. One player that they will need to keep an eye on for the Crusaders is Matthew Savoy. Now, Savoy was the first overall pick in the 2019 WHL Bantam Draft. He was really close to being the first ever player with exceptional status in the WHL. Unfortunately for himself, he wasn't able to do that, but he still got 22 games in with the Winnipeg Ice as well in their 2 games last weekend. He got 2 points, both of them coming in the 4-3 win for the Bobcats. So while he's not contributing as much to the wins, he's still a huge player to watch out for there. And then finally, it's obviously unfortunate we can only have 100 people in the buildings at each time, with tonight being in Kitscoty and tomorrow being in at the Civic Center. So obviously it's a tough one, but for fans who still want to catch Bobcats action, they can tune in on Hockey TV.
Well, Evan, thanks for that insight. Thanks for taking some time to talk with me today. And as Evan mentioned, the Bobcats are going to be hitting the ice tonight at 7:30 in Kitscoty, and then in Saturday they'll be playing here in Lloydminster at the Civic Center.
Thanks, Jace.
Maybe your house or front yard is going to be spooky. Maybe it's going to be scary, or maybe it's going to be funny. The City of Lloydminster wants you to decorate your house, your front yard for their Halloween house decorating contest. Take a picture of your decorations and upload it to the city's website, lloydminster.ca, before midnight on October the 26th for your chance to get in to win. They've got great prizes thanks to Domino's and the Home Depot and the City of Lloydminster. And also, they're going to put together a map so that you and your family can take a tour of the city and see all the really cool Halloween decorations. If you want to get that entry in, get those decorations up this weekend and send in that entry to lloydminster.ca. The temperature has certainly been dropping, and before you know it, that dreaded S word, snow, is going to be upon us. Maybe you're thinking, oh, I would love to cozy up on the couch and watch a great movie, or you'd love a new armchair to relax in and get cozy in. Well, stop by Ashley Home Store here in Lloydminster. They're celebrating their grand opening this weekend. So stop in, take a look, and we welcome them to the City of Lloydminster. Well, whatever you choose to do this weekend, we hope you stay safe and stay healthy.
What's Happening is brought to you by Northern Factory Workwear, Circle Drive East, Saskatoon, and Highway 17 South, Lloydminster.
I'm joined here today with Abby St. John with this week's entertainment panel. How are you today?
I'm doing good, Shelby. How are you?
I'm doing very good. So first I wanted to start off about talking about these new rumors about the third Spider-Man MCU film that's supposed to have Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield in it, that's supposed to reprise their own Spider-Man versions.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we briefly talked about this not too long ago. We've brought up Spider-Man 3 quite a bit over the past several weeks, but there are rumors, yes, that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield will be back to reprise their own versions of their own Spider-Man. However, there are now new rumors circulating that the character Miles Morales will be making his first live-action appearance in this third Spider-Man. Now, Sony and Marvel both neither denied or confirmed these rumors, so like in true Marvel fashion, we probably won't have confirmation until closer to their release date. Now, we do know that Miles exists in this MCU universe since back in 2017. Donald Glover played Aaron Morales, Miles' uncle, and name drops him in a deleted scene. So we know that he already exists in this universe. Now, the character Miles Morales was introduced as his Spider-Man was introduced back in 2018 in the Oscar-winning animated Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. So we got a glimpse of who he is and how his role within the Spider-Man universe plays out. He is another kid who has the Spider-Man powers. So it's going to be interesting to see if this is being confirmed. Now, with Doctor Strange being in it, it is open for them to dive into different universes, into different timelines. So having all of these characters in one movie is going to be very exciting. And that, like we've said in the past, Jamie Foxx's Electro will be making an appearance in this movie as well. So seeing more different universe Spider-Mans and characters come back, it's going to be very interesting to see how it plays out within the storyline of Spider-Man 3.
I'm also very excited. I do hope this Spider-Man movie happens with the 3 Spider-Mans, and hopefully they can maybe capture that one meme of the 3 Spider-Mans pointing at each other that you can always see online. So I do hope it happens. Now, secondly, I want to talk about Adam McKay, the filmmaker behind Step Brothers, Anchorman, Talladega Nights, The Big Short. He has a new movie called Don't Look Up, and this comedy looks interesting to me because all the high celebrities that's going to be in it. So I'm very excited to see what this one's going to be all about.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's from Netflix. It's a Netflix movie, and it's a dark comedy, like you said, called Don't Look Up, created by Adam McKay. And it has a full cast of celebrities from Leonardo DiCaprio, Meryl Streep, Jennifer Lawrence, Timothée Chalamet, Jonah Hill, Hamish Patel, Ariana Grande, Cate Blanchett, Matthew Perry, Tomer Sisley, and Kid Cudi. They are the main cast that have all been announced in this film. So it's going to be full of high A-lister celebrities. And the story follows 2 low-level astronomers who embark on a media tour to warn mankind of an approaching asteroid that will destroy the Earth. However, nobody believes them about the impending doom. And production has yet to start, but there should be a date soon announced. This is going to be very interesting. It's very hit or miss when you have a movie chocked full of big-name celebrities, with Valentine's Day, New Year's Eve from several years ago, and then This Is the End, another comedy full of very A-lister, B-lister celebrities. So it will be interesting to see how this turns out. However, Adam McKay knows how to make comedy. So I don't think anyone will truly know how it turns out, of course, until it's released. I have big hopes for it because I love all the celebrities that are going to be in it. But I'm also, again, you have to tread with caution because big comedies with big name stars can not always turn out the way you want it to.
Exactly. And lastly, I want to talk about with COVID-19 how theaters, especially with all these new movies that's going to be coming out, have been struggling to get some audiences coming in. Of course, with the pandemic, you got to be social distancing. And now there's a chance that people will be able to have theaters and theaters streamed to their TVs at home.
Yes. Yes. The cinema tech company Chrissy has been granted a patent that will allow theaters across the world be able to stream movies directly at home, just so that they can still be able to make some revenue, so that when things start to get a little bit more back to normal and theaters are able to open back up, they are able to do that, because there's a lot, especially down in the States, a lot of theaters haven't opened and they have been remained closed throughout this entire thing. And even theaters that are open, you're not seeing as many people going in to see movies because of the fear, of course, of being socially distanced from people and being around them, stuck in a theater with them for a couple of hours. It is a little bit nerve-wracking and people aren't taking that risk. So this patent will then be able to allow theaters to put their movies securely onto this service through an IP network, and people at home will be able to protectively stream and pay for these movies to watch from the comfort of your own home, just until theaters are again being able to open up to a bigger capacity than it is already. And I think that's a good idea, whether or not that it is released and it works out. It'll also be interesting to see how it plays out with other competing streaming services like Netflix, Hulu, Crave, Disney Plus, all of the above. It's going to be interesting to see how it works and if it is as successful as they're making it out to be.
Yes, I'm very interested to see how it plays out as well. I think it's going to be a great idea, and I can't wait to be able to try it myself. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Abby.
Yes, thank you.
All right, taking one last look here at your weather forecast. -2 on Saturday, -3 Sunday. We're going to have some fairly cold temperatures for the next couple of days here. -1 Monday with some flurries at 76% there. 1 degree on Tuesday. -2 on Wednesday with that cold temperatures continuing on. -3 on Thursday with -3 also on Friday. Now, of course, I did mention -2 for our daytime high tomorrow. With that wind that we're going to be getting, we could see it drop down to -8 or -10 even with
that wind picking up, as well as that could be the result of many days ahead, as we are going to see some wind continuing on with some minus temperatures.
Joining us on Primetime Local News. Have a great night.